welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Yancy and this is the Miss Yancy Network. Today we are in the garden, okay? This is about to be my garden. All right, y'all, you already know why we're here, right? Y'all saw them juicy watermelons in the beginning of this video. That's what captured your attention, because you will be growing those juicy watermelons this season with your girl Miss Yancy. But all right, y'all, no, seriously, we are about to transplant our watermelon plants into the grow bags. So you guys know I grow a ton of my food in grow bags, containers, raised beds, yada yada yada. We grow in small spaces. That's what I teach you guys on the channel, amongst other things. But today we will be transplanting all of our watermelons into grow bags. So y'all already know I grew a ton of watermelons from seed indoors using the Miss Yancy seeds in my Etsy store, from the fruits that I grew last year from those watermelons that you just saw in the beginning of this video, okay? So we grew those seeds, okay? Pat on my shoulder, pat on my back, okay? I grew those, and guess what? That's gonna be you too, because after you grow your watermelon this year, you're gonna harvest the seeds and save it for next year, because that's your own seeds, and you know how you grew your food, so therefore you don't have no questions around, is this GMO, is this non-GMO, all of that stuff, okay? We're having seeded watermelon. We want the watermelon with all the seeds in it, because that's how God intended fruits and vegetables to be. So that's how we are going to grow ours, organically, of course. But all right, y'all, I'm just going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to transplant your watermelon plants into grow bags and in whatever container, raised beds, into the ground, whatever it is that you're doing. Of course, more of the information is going to be based on the grow bags that I'm using, because that's what I'm growing with, and I'm assuming that some of you guys may be growing in grow bags or containers. This information relates to all of those things, but just gonna be a slight difference when you're growing in a grow bag, because it requires more attention when you're growing grow bags, and I'll explain that to you when we start transplanting, okay? Alrighty, y'all, come along. If you have not liked the video yet, go ahead and like the video, because we're about to have a ball, okay? A big watermelon ball. Also, I'm growing crimson sweet watermelon this year, so you guys, we're about to grow them humongous watermelons that you saw in the beginning. You can also use these tips for all of your planting, and you can use these tips also for sugar baby watermelons, which is the smaller watermelon. Now today is the perfect day to plant my watermelons, because it's a rainy day, it's drizzling right now, and I'm in a garden, and watermelon requires water, of course. And when you're transplanting, to avoid transplant shock, you want to wet the plants that is in your cup or whatever container that you grew them in. You want to just wet those a little bit, and then also wet the area that you're going to be planting the watermelon, just so it can get acclimated to the soil and you avoid transplant shock. You shouldn't have any issues if you've been following my journey of, you know, me from seed to now, because if you know, we had our watermelon plants outdoors here sitting hardening off for a couple of weeks now, so they are well adjusted to the outdoors environment. They're well adjusted to all of the things out here. They should be fine, but just for the roots, because they have been secure in those little cups, enjoying their little comfort bubble, to avoid transplant shock, this is how we're gonna do it, okay? So come along, let's get it started. Watermelons, I love watermelons. All right, y'all, I gotta put my hoodie on because it's actually raining out here. It's like drizzling. It's not raining like too heavy, so it's fine. But this is the best time to really transplant your garden, is when it's raining, because it's like the soil is just right? Anyway, the first thing first, you want to make sure before you start your watermelon, you want to make sure you're using really good soil. What is good soil? Good soil is soil that drains well, and it does not have a really bad smell. It has a lot of natural components to it. Like, you have some, not just fertilizers, but you have compost and things in there. So you want the soil to be something that your roots of your plants, especially your watermelons, which spread very wide, you want to make sure that they have enough room to spread, and the soil is also loose enough for the roots to spread. Next, you want to make sure that you're growing in a really huge container. Now, I know some people have tried growing in small containers, and when you're growing in smaller containers for watermelons, you really have to contain all of the extra shoots, side shoots that's going to come out, because the thing about watermelon is one plant can grow many shoots. Like it can grow like 10 or more different size shoots that can come out from that one main stem, and you really have to control it. Your focus is growing fruits. So if you're growing in a smaller container, you want to make sure that you're pruning all of the side shoots off and you're only keeping that one main watermelon stem for all of the fruits to grow on it. Otherwise, it's going to be taking away all of the energy from the main stem, and then instead of producing fruits, it's going to be producing more watermelon vines. So we're going to avoid that. So right now, an ideal size grow bag or container you want for watermelons is between 20 to 30 or more a gallon grow bag. Right now, this is a 20-gallon grow bag, and I am going to be planting 3 watermelons in this grow bag. That's a lot for this grow bag, but my plan is to keep each watermelon that I'm planting in here. I'm going to cut off any additional side shoots, any extra, watermelon vines that want to grow on that one main vine. I'm going to cut it off just so I can contain all of the energy into that one vine to produce as many fruit as it can on that one vine. So I'm going to grow 3 in here, and I'm going to do my best to contain it because it spreads really quickly, and it just want to continuously produce different watermelon vines, and we want to focus on that one vine to get all the fruits that we can, to get the biggest fruits that we can and the sweetest fruit that we can. And crimson sweet watermelon is very sweet, and we're going to do all of the things to make sure that it remains that way. Okay, we want to grow fruits. We don't want to just grow watermelon vines to make it look pretty, which is very pretty. Now the third thing that you want to make sure is that you're growing your watermelon on a trellis. Now these are crimson sweet watermelon, so they're really big watermelon, and you're wondering what kind of trellis can carry those, and is the watermelon too heavy? So today I will be training just like last year. I grew my watermelons on my chain link fence, and it did pretty well even though it was super heavy. But of course, because the watermelon is very heavy, you need something to support the melons. Last year I used shower curtains, like old shower curtains. I used that as a hammock, and I tied it to the chain link fence and had my watermelon sitting inside of it. I'm going to put in some videos in here so you can see what I'm talking about. I showed you guys how to create those hammocks for your watermelons to sit in them so that they're well supported. And what that did was it really helped keep away a lot of the pests, things like groundhogs. My neighbors have a ton of groundhogs under their shed, and we have a ton of animals in this backyard. As you can see, I have a ton of trees and things like that, so we have a lot of backyardigans that live here. And to keep them away, those hammocks and just the different cloths like surrounding the watermelon and things like that, it made it kind of difficult for them to get to it, or it just discouraged them from even trying to get to it. And then so you're keeping the pests away, and also you're supporting it and you're giving it enough airflow, because watermelon produces a lot of really big leaves. They're everywhere, they're beautiful, and also it's a great privacy fencing for your fence. If you have a chain link fence like me, it's a great way to create like that degree of separation from your neighbors. So growing it on there, or you could just get a regular trellis. You could get cattle panel from Tractor Supply, whatever it is that you can grow it on. I really suggest that you grow your melons upwards rather than just letting it spread everywhere. It's another way to save space, because if you are growing in like a small area, if you have a small garden or you're growing on a patio, yes, you can grow these watermelons on your patio. You're just going to have to really contain it, like the way I said, with cutting off all the extra side shoots that may come from this one plant, and then as well as growing it vertically instead of horizontally. Growing it upwards is going to keep all of it, is going to contain it, as well as give you more space to grow other things in your small space. So that's one of the biggest tips I would give for this. So but as we go along growing this watermelon, I'm going to give you guys more tips. You guys are going to continue this journey, this watermelon journey with me throughout this season, like I did last year, just to show you guys how to take care of your watermelons and to get the best watermelon that you can, to get the best fruits, to get as many fruits as you can, and to produce all of the things that you want your watermelons to do, which is ultimately a big, juicy, sweet, seeded watermelon that is non-GMO. Okay. All right, y'all, so let's get started. So throughout the season, I'm going to be using different fertilizers, as well as the blood meal and the worm castings to fertilize my plants. Things like the banana peel water, that's a really great natural fertilizer. I'm actually going to be direct composting the banana peels next to each of the watermelon plants that I have in here, so they each have their own. And just throughout the season, I will be letting you guys know everything that I am doing. But for right now, let's go ahead and transplant these so we can get out of here, because it's actually really raining and y'all probably could see the rain because my jacket is getting wet. So let's hurry up and transplant this and let me get y'all out of here, okay? Let me get out of here before I get sick. All right, y'all, I'm gonna be using my handy dandy tool. I got this from Walmart or Home Depot, one of them. You can get it from there. It just makes digging easier. And I'm also gonna put this on my Amazon store if you're interested in purchasing it from my Amazon store. Thank you, okay? So we're just going to dig in there. Now when you're getting your watermelon from your container, you want to squeeze around a cup so you can release the roots. Squeeze it very well, and you're gonna flip it over and let it come out. There you go. And then we're just gonna, actually I'm just gonna remove the soil because it's not root bound. Here's the roots right here, still intact. I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna plant the marigold next. Put this in the middle. Y'all, look at how root bound this is. I'm just squeezing it to release the roots a little bit, release some of the soil from the roots. We added some worm castings. Now we're gonna add some blood meal. Alrighty, y'all, that is how you transplant your watermelon into your grow bags. Even though it is raining, I'm still going to water this very, very well. So the thing about grow bags that I wanted to tell you guys that was different from like regular containers is that grow bags, when you water it, the water comes directly out of the grow bags. So you want to make sure that you're watering these plants every 2 to 3 days. And one of the tricks that I will show you guys that I do for all of my plants that grow in grow bags is to put water inside of a wine bottle and then aim it directly at the root of each of the plants. What that is doing is providing it like a drip system at the roots to keep it moist and so that it doesn't dry out, because grow bags tend to dry really, really fast, especially during the hot summer months of June and July and August. Those 3 months are really, really like a beast growing in grow bags. You'll find yourself having to water almost every single day when you grow in grow bags. To avoid all of that work, if you don't have an irrigation system, just get a container. I'm using wine bottles because I prefer to use glass instead of plastic. We already have enough plastic going on around here, okay? So I'm going to be using wine bottles, and I'm going to fill it up with water, and I'm going to aim it directly at the roots of each of the watermelons, and that is going to supply it with some water during the days where I am not watering. But we will be watering these every 2 to 3 days. But you want to also pay attention to the soil, that it is not too dry, because watermelon is watermelon, it needs water. And like I said, grow bags do not retain moisture a lot, but one of the things that you could do to help to retain some of the moisture is to cover it up with some mulch. I believe you can use like straw mulch. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use this year. I don't use mulch at all, but this year I'm going to try to use some mulch, and I'm just trying to research which mulch is the best one, like whether it's straw or not, because I know sometimes straw mulch it tends to grow in the soil because it's natural, it's straw, you know. So I'm just trying to avoid weeding, which shouldn't be weeding at all when you're growing in grow bags, unless you have some grass seeds in there or anything like that. But mulch should help with weeding, but also should help retain the moisture into the grow bag. So I'm definitely going to look into that, and I'll let you guys know more about it once I do that. I'm not doing it right now. All I'm going to do is definitely just water down these plants just to make sure it's getting adequate water to the roots, because they need it. We just transplanted, and we want to avoid transplanting shock, okay? So that's how you do it, y'all. If y'all have any questions, let me know in the comments, or you have a better way of doing this. Like I said, we're going to be growing it on this chain link fence right here. We're going to train the vines onto the fence. You want to grow your watermelons on a fence or on some type of trellis just to keep it away from the ground. It just saves so much, you know. It avoids pests, diseases, and all of the things, okay? And it makes it's pretty. It's like it's a very pretty plant. I love it, those big beautiful leaves. But anyway, so I have 3 watermelon plants in here, and then the other grow bag I have is a 30-gallon grow bag, and I'm gonna put 4 watermelon plants in that one. So we are going to be growing about, what's that, 7 watermelon plants this season. Let's see how many watermelons that we are gonna get from 7 watermelon plants. Cross our fingers that they all survive. Okay, alrighty y'all, come along, let's go, let's get out of this rain. Alrighty y'all, we are about to do the same thing that we did in that other grow bag. That's what we're about to grow here. I thought I was growing 4 watermelon plants in here, but it's actually 3. And now I'm thinking I should go get 1 more, because this bag is way bigger than that bag. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go get 1 more watermelon, but maybe I should save it for somebody that want it. So let me not put it in here. I'll do the 3 in here, and if nobody get the other watermelon plant, I'm gonna put it in here later on in the season and see what happens. All right y'all, let's get started. Alright y'all, we are all done. The rain is starting to fall a little heavier, so I'm about to get out of here. But at least we planted these and they're already in the bag. And I wanted to show you guys, this is the wine bottle. If you have bigger ones, it's probably gonna work better. Whatever wine bottle, whatever bottle you have, I'm gonna fill it up with water, and I'm just going to put it like over here, slanted, so that it is near the actual root of the plant, and it's going to work as a drip system for the roots of these plants, so that they can remain moist during the hot summer months, because it will get super hot and these bags are gonna dry up like crazy. So right now I'm not gonna fill this up since it's raining right now. I'm about to get out of here, but one of the things I am going to do though is cover these up with some insect netting, and I am going to cover them up because I don't want these groundhogs to come and dig up in here, especially since I put this in here. They're not going to really care about these seedlings because they can't do nothing for them right now, but they like to snap it, and you know, they just like being evil. So it's not only the groundhogs, it's also the squirrels and things like that. So I'm about to wrap this up. Okay, so that's how you transplant your watermelons, so you can have a lot of harvest throughout the season. I'll be continuously giving you guys tips and tricks on how to grow it and how to take care of it, especially when it starts to grow. I'm going to train the vines on this chain link fence, and like I told you guys when I was planting the other one over there, I'm going to cut off any side shoots or any extra growth that comes from the main stem. I'm going to cut them off because I don't have the space to have all of them grow. And then also I'm growing 3 of it in this bag, which is quite a lot. I did last year and I got over 10 watermelons. I can't remember how many plants I grew in it, but I think it was definitely more than 2, that's for sure. But also I didn't trim off all the extra shoots all the time because it just became overwhelming. But this time I'm going to be really good about it. So that's about it. This is how you grow your watermelons, and I cannot wait to see your harvest. Make sure you guys leave any questions or comments in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, of course. Also, if you would like my beautiful Vigo garden raised bed, do not forget to click that link in the description and you will get 10% off. Use my code, okay? And oh my gosh, I have a wealth of knowledge and things like that in the description of this video. Of course, follow me on all social platforms, especially on TikTok and Instagram. I'm very active on TikTok and Instagram. All of those links are in the description of this video as well, and I'll catch you guys on the next one, okay? I cannot wait to see your plants. Don't forget, if you're in my garden group on Facebook, join the garden group if you're not, but go ahead and post your updates, your pictures, and all of the things. But alrighty y'all, I cannot wait to see what your harvest look like. I cannot wait to see y'all plants. I cannot wait to see y'all pictures, and I'll catch you in the next one where I'll be transplanting something else. So stay tuned for that video. If you missed the last video, go ahead and click the link below in the description. You will see the last video that was posted, okay? But alrighty y'all, it has been wonderful being out here with you guys, getting rained on, but I love it. It feels beautiful. Y'all hear all of nature, right? Y'all hear the birds singing and y'all see the groundhog somewhere under there hiding, watching me plant all the food they think they gonna eat, because we blocking their blessings this time. I'm sorry, I blessed them a lot, but this time we blocking their blessings. They didn't even want to eat that apple, so at least I get them an apple. I wouldn't eat that apple either. But alrighty, y'all, it has been wonderful being on here with y'all. Remember, you're exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. Happy gardening. Love y'all. Bye, y'all. And remember, y'all, if you're looking for organic heirloom seeds, go ahead in the description of this video and grab your pack of seeds in my Etsy store and get your garden popping. Bye, y'all. Happy gardening. My signature luxurious body butter is packed with all natural skin loving ingredients such as cocoa butter, coconut oil, shea butter, vitamin E oil, and baobab oil. Whipped to perfection, it is lightly made to be easily absorbed into the skin without clogging your pores. This body butter is free of parabens, sulfates, and synthetic fragrances. Your new bestie.